All right, so next up in here, we have our bubble appearing on the screen, but we need to make sure that it goes back and forth. Oh, I'm gonna have a bunch of these. I'm gonna go back down to 50. I'm gonna go back down to 50 because I know I'm gonna have a whole bunch of these. I can change that, and I can change that anytime I want. Let's see. Let's get some movement to our bubble. So we're gonna say our bubble, same way we did in anything else. We're gonna say, like, and each bubble should be able to move. So I'm actually gonna make a method called update. And in the update method for a bubble, I'm going to say x is going to increase by, I'm going to make a variable called speed. Because I could set this to be like 5, but, I might want to have each thing have its own speed. So let's just say for now, I want to make a variable called speed. And that's how much the circle is going to move by. Okay, to get that done, let's go back up to the top. We're going to say private int speed. And then, so we're going to declare a variable called speed. Let's set speed to 5, although, of course, we can set it to whatever we want. We'll just set it to 5 now. And then let's do our update. Let's see. Oh, we created the method called update. Let's actually call that one in here, too. Now, if we run this, hey, we get a circle appearing across the screen. Don't love that it's doing all this. Sorry, you can't see. Don't love that it's doing all this. Of course, that's the same in any of our processing stuff. As a reminder, we need to set our background. Actually, I'm going to do background as black for this. But now if we run it, we get that illusion of movement, right? It's kind of appearing across the screen. Let me zoom in a little bit. Sorry if you weren't able to see. Hopefully, make it big enough. All right, so I'll just kind of show you my code right now in full zoom mode, right? We have int y, int size, canvas speed, setting up all these variables, doing our display, and doing our update. Okay, and then in here, declaring our bubble before any of the methods, creating the first one in setup, and then in draw, we're constantly doing that. Okay, quick refresher on that. All right, so I'm gonna do some more stuff though. I want this thing to, when it hits the edge, I really want it to bounce back. Oh, actually, I can do this in a bunch of different ways. I think actually in my popping bubbles one, as soon as it hits the right side, it just goes back to the left, if you recall. I think I'm going to have this one bounce. So we'll do something slightly different because that might be something you want to do in your game. So I'm going to do it in my bubble. Here's what I need to do. So if I look at my whiteboard here, in my whiteboard, what I want to do, okay, so here's what I want to have. I want to have my screen like this. And this is something we've done in some other projects, so maybe you've seen this before. But I have my little circle here. It's going to the right based on speed. What I want to have happen is like when the circle touches the edge here, I want it to go back the other way. The way that I can do that is I can just set speed. If it's positive before, if I set it when it touches the edge, I can set it to be negative, and that will make it go back. Instead of positive 5, it'll go negative 5, which means it'll go to the left. Then when it hits this side, I just set speed back to being positive, and that'll go back positive 5. So in my code here, I need to say if touches edge, that's supposed to be a curly bracket, but clearly it's not great. Something like that. Speed is going to be equal to negative speed. So let's code that into our little update function. Let's say in our update function, we're going to say if our x value is touching the right edge, so if x value is greater than, and we can hard code this and put in a value. I can also say, hey, canvas, what's your width? If x is bigger than my canvas width, then I'm going to say speed is equal to negative speed. Now we get our ball going across the screen. I'm going to increase the speed so it doesn't take so long. Looking pretty good. Now when it goes to the left side, I haven't really coded for that. So, bye-bye ball. Bye-bye bubble. Let's do first. I'm going to increase the speed so I don't have to wait so long. It's touching the right side. It's going to bounce. I'd say also if x is less than 0, also bounce the speed. Bounce based on speed. You can't quite see it in there. So let me slow it down a little bit. But it's actually going a little bit it's kind of going like off the screen more than I want. Let's slow it way down. Slow it down to 5. Look as it touches the edge. You can see that it's kind of going, it's not like just the edge is touching, it's going a little bit further past. Right, you see that? So yeah, maybe some of you would have picked up on that already. But the problem with that is that I am checking the x value, but the x is actually at the center of the circle. So what I need to do is take the x plus half its size. right? X is half, so that'll check to the right side of the circle. You can skip forward if this is redundant for you, but if this is our X value, then the right side of the circle is going to be X plus, well, this is the whole size is the entire width. We can say X plus size divided by 2. And that will give us this point right here. Maybe take a second to think, what would be the other side over here? Well, it'd be X minus half the size. Size divided by 2. So let's get back into our code. So on the right side, it's going to be size plus 2, or excuse me, X plus size divided by 2. On the left side, it's going to be X minus size divided by 2. When we run that, we can get our code. I got to go back to speeding it up. Boom, looks pretty good though. Great, so we got some bounce going on there. Let's go back, let's increase our speed again. Okay, so what do we have? So we have that in there. Yeah, we've updated our method a little bit. There's all sorts of things I could do in here slightly differently. Let's do one more thing on this before I move on into making some array list stuff. Let's do our bubble. Let's add in some color. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pause. I'll do that in the next video. Yeah, I'll break this up a little bit.